Getting about those, thanks again for tuning in to yet another video. Infamous coming at you live from the West Coast yet again, San Jose, California. So let's go ahead and talk about the trading value on your Mount Rushmore Harley touring model. I had a comment in my previous video. They're wondering, hey, what are your thoughts on the trade-in value? I guess maybe you might be considering getting yourself a 2024 touring model, road glide, straight glide, whatever you're looking at. And how has the new 2024 devalued the current Harleys, the 2023, 2022, all the Milwaukee 8. So let's just say 2017 all the way up to 2023 specials and sport touring models. How has this new 2024 affected that industry or those models? And the truth is, it's gonna affect it. Okay. Why would anybody, like I mentioned in previous videos, why would anybody pay more for less? All right, guys, this is $26,000 billiard gray with a chrome trim finish. You're getting a lot. I already made a ton of videos. Okay, I know this is like my 20th video or whatever. You get better suspension, better handling, reduced weight, better performance, liquid cooled heads. You also have a bigger display. You have RDRS standard, so you have all the rider assists, and like I mentioned, it's a brand new overall design on the Road Glide. So you get improved wind protection, improved wind buffeting. Man, it just goes on and on. So why would you settle for a inferior product when you could buy, the modern, just all the bells and whistles at a reduced price? Because you guys know how much the STs were going for. Those were $30,000. Not to mention, of course, the markups and the dealer fees. And then you had the special, which I believe was about $29,000. It was very close. All right, but even the specials have the 114. So now you're getting the 117 with the 2024. So why would you downgrade? All right, so you get her, like I said, you get better performance and you get better cooling, because they're also liquid cooled. So what has the 2024s done to the market? It's demolished it. All right, so if you own a 2023 or a 2022, you can't sell those bikes for the same price. Okay, it's just you got to be absolutely nuts to believe that your Harley, if you own a 2021, 2022, 2023, or a Road Glide ST or Street Glide ST, you can't sell that bike for $30,000 anymore. All right, so dealers will, of course, 100% attempt to sell those bikes at full price because they're dealers, and of course they have the certified label on the bikes. So, as a service writer that worked for dealers and repair shops, just to tell you guys how it works, I guess if you guys are wondering, how does it work when you decide to kind of trade this in? You guys know that there's a Kelly Blue Book value. I believe it's called NADA, and I was just looking it up myself, just wondering, hey, how much could you potentially get as a trade-in if you do decide to proceed to upgrade it? And here's some prices. Okay, so average retail value, you're looking at $24,375. Mind you, this is a 2023, so you've already lost about $6,000 of value, just on the year. Okay, this does not factor anything as far as the miles. Low retail, of course. Most of the dealerships are going to want to give you this. All right, $18,525 for your $30,000 bike. Of course, if you're trying to trade it in, I mean, you could really make the argument for 24, but I mean, realistically, these dealerships are not going to be able to sell that bike for $24,000. All right, why would you, even if you were to buy it with no markups, no fees, just an even trade from the dealership to you? The dealership has to make some money. They have to make some money. It is what it is. It's a business. The dealership wants to make at least $5,000 off of this. So now let's talk about my history, my experience as a service writer. Of course, you guys know I used to make these repair orders for these used vehicles. Once these vehicles get traded in, we're supposed to perform a safety inspection. All right, so hey, the bike can be a 2023, the bike can be a 2024. We still have to do that safety inspection. So off the bat, the sales floor has to pay the repair shop, the service department to get that done. All right. Now, depending on the dealership, each dealership has a certain amount of budget for repairs. All right. So, like I said, depending on the dealership, that could be $900 all the way up to $1,300 for repairs. So those repairs consist of brake fluid replacement, maintenance on the oil, 3-hole change. That could be brand new tires, whatever, forks, service, oil change, whatever you want to, throw in there. If the service department feels that it is unsafe for the bike to have old brake fluid, old tires, and, typically the oil change does get done anyways, if it's time for the service to be done. So all of those things need to be under that budget of the dealership. Now, that's typically where you see the prep fee when you're buying used bikes. I've mentioned this in previous videos where dealers have prep fees on used bikes because of that cost to keep them up, maintained, and have them safety inspected. So that's typically where that charge goes into. But what a lot of people don't know, when you're doing the trade-in, the person that's doing the trade-in is also paying that prep fee. So let's say the dealership is going to give you $24,375 for your trade-in, which is honestly really high considering that the 2024s are now available. You have to, of course, remove that whatever the budget of the dealership is. I'm just going to say it's going to be about $1,500. That's what most dealers will probably tell you. So they're going to remove $1,500 off of that, and that's how much your bike is valued to them, because they got to spend, even though they don't have to spend the $1,500, they're gonna, they're just gonna put it in there as a precaution, because most of the times when you do trade in, the dealerships, they don't check your vehicle. They normally don't check it. All right, they just, you could do the trade in, and you just gotta tell them you have the bike. The only thing you gotta do is when you, of course, pick up your bike, you gotta drop off your old bike, your trade in, and then you're able to pick up your brand new bike. So $1,500, like I said, so instead of it being $24,000, you're gonna get what is that, $22,500. That's how much you're gonna get for your 2023 Road Glide ST. Now, of course, we have this new counter offer, or this counterpoint, whatever you want to call it. Dealers are gonna make this obvious. They're gonna tell you, hey, we have the 2024s. We can't give you $22,000 for your bike. We gotta, it's just, if I'm pretty sure this is the argument. The dealerships are going to use this argument when you're trying to trade in your 2021, 2022, 2023. They're going to tell you straight up, look, we have a 2024. It's $26,000. We can't give you $22,000 for your bike anymore. There's no way. People are not going to buy it knowing that Harley already has the 2024s at $26,000. They're going to try to give you, I would say, to be realistic, they would probably try to give you $20,000 for your bike. That way they could probably sell it for about $26,000 to $27,000. Like I said, the dealerships want to maximize their profits. All right, they want to maximize their profits, so they're going to use all these arguments, even though they're still gonna, like I said, they're still gonna retail it or put a sticker price of $30,000 on the bike. So, one more, of course, last argument for the bike's not being valued as what they probably should be, which is probably $27,000 or something like that, is the interest rates on used vehicles is a lot higher. All right, so there's a bigger risk when it's a used vehicle. Of course, the credit unions, the financing, they see it as a bigger risk because it's a used bike. You don't know what's wrong with it. It could have been dropped. It could have some unforeseen damages. And if you feel like you got ripped off, or something were to go wrong with the bike, it's a used bike, okay? Something were to go to wrong, if there was something to go wrong with it, and you decide to stop paying it because you know what, this bike is a lemon. I'm paying $500 a month, and I didn't know about all of these issues. It's a used bike. Now, the credit union or the finance, they're stuck with the bike. All right. Of course, you didn't put anything down. It is what it is, guys. I mean, it's a bigger risk. You could actually, like I said, stop paying it, and now your finance, your credit union, it's up to them to, of course, proceed to to get it, to repo it, and then recoup their losses, I guess. So that's what it is. Okay, service writer, getting these in, safety inspected, repairing them within that budget. And like I said, I made a video about it like 3 years ago. If the bike required more than the budget repair, which is $900 to $1,300, whatever dealership, like I said, every dealership has a different budget. Once it goes over that amount, you have to call the sales manager, the sales floor. You got to call them and tell them how much more will this bike take to fix or to get up there. And then, of course, they decide to override the budget or to stop the repairs and send it to the auction. And that's where you see a lot of these bikes at the auctions because, these dealers know how much they could get out of them at the auction. And, they're gonna hit around that area, that zone of what they want. So like I said, the bike requires a lot of repairs, they send it straight to the auction, and then they just let it be somebody else's a problem or whatever. You guys get the point? Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching yet another video. Hopefully that helps. I would say contact your local dealer, communicate with them, see what they offer you. They're going to offer you a very, very low number. I mean, that's how the negotiating starts. All right, they're supposed to offer you low numbers. At the same time, I mean, there's a balance. Of course, there's a balance of disrespecting you with a certain number. Of course, a lot of people that I know are probably paid markups on these bikes. This is why you have to be careful with the prep fees and the markups on these bikes, because your loan is still going to be, let's say if you bought the bike for $36,000, which is probably at MSRP. But I mean, I know folks that paid over $40,000 for this bike with dealer fees and markups. So if I mean it's 2024. If you bought this in 2023, then you still owe about $40,000 on the bike. So even if they were to give you $24,000, you're still on the hook for $15,000. What's going to happen with those $15,000? Is it going to be forgiven? No. Those $15,000 are going to move on to your 2024 bike payment. And depending on your credit, depending on, I think it's the credit. Depending on your credit, the credit union or the financing, whoever it is, they can decide yes or no between that. And if you really wanted to, of course, you would have to, of course, put some money out. So typically, I think it's like $8,000 above MSRP. So you would have to, just what you could qualify for. It's $8,000 to $10,000 above MSRP, depending on the financing. So even if you owed $15,000, you would have to pay $5,000 to finance it, and then, I mean, you're financing, of course, both of the bikes. So it really isn't worth it if you've paid markup and dealer fees. I would say, man, it's up to you. All right, I get it. These new 2024s they're absolutely gorgeous. With a street glide. I'm still growing on the road glide, but you guys can, of course, share your comments. What do you guys think? Is it worth trading in? If you do owe $30,000, if you owe $30,000 and you get 24, you're on the hook for $5,000, which I'm almost certain most people owe more than $24,000 if you financed it. So life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.